Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. Meteorologist Hunter Forrest here. Welcome to the Weather Desk, the show that happens every day, Monday through Friday, starting at 9 o'clock with today's top weather headlines. And of course, we've been off the last couple of days for the holidays, but we are back today, and we will be back as we head into the upcoming work week as well. Craig will be here on Monday, but for today, it is me, and we're going to be talking about a few good things that are going on and a few not so good things as well. Of course, we have the weekend coming up, so we'll be talking about the weekend forecast at the end of the Weather Desk, but we do still have some excessive rain and snow that continues for California. Also some snowfall in the Northeast, along with some very, very cold temperatures, not only in the Northeast, but also in the Midwest as well. But it may not last forever because it's looking like we're going to see some warmth moving into the region heading into the middle and end of next week, not only for us here in Hampton Roads, but for a good portion of the United States. We're also going to be talking about an avalanche that has recently just happened over in Spain. But once again, the weekend forecast for us here in Hampton Roads. But while it might be clear and seasonable here in Hampton Roads, other parts of the United States are tackling unwelcomed weather. Heavy rain soaking the West Coast and millions facing extreme cold and snow in the Northeast. ABC's Hannah Battah has the story.
From blinding snow in the east to flash floods in the west, the new year is kicking off with extreme weather on both coasts. In Southern California, the already saturated region dealing with another round of heavy rain. Streams of mud could be seen flowing over barriers set up in areas ravaged by wildfires. Rain poured down on the 137th Rose Parade for the first time in 20 years. With no umbrellas allowed, parade goers braving the weather in ponchos, performers getting soaked along the route. Crews sweeping water off the field at the Rose Bowl ahead of the big game between Alabama and Indiana. The rain finally let up before kickoff. Across the country, powerful lake effect snow moving into the northeast, blanketing parts of upstate New York. Some areas in the region could see up to 2 feet by tomorrow. The conditions making for treacherous travel on the roads.
It was kind of miserable going down. Some parts, like, you basically couldn't see in front of you.
A blast of Arctic air is also impacting millions from Michigan to Maine, with wind chills expected to dip as low as 15 degrees below zero. Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
And as we take a look at the satellite and radar for the United States, there's not a whole lot going on right now, but that's going to continue to change over the next couple of days. Seeing a little bit of lake effect snow in areas around New York, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. We have a few rain showers down around Missouri and Arkansas. That's continuing to push off into the eastward direction. Seeing a little bit of unsettled weather here out towards the west, but out in California, it's not super rainy right now, which is great news because it has been over the last couple of days. It's been seeing flooding, severe weather, tons of snow. Right now, it's mainly dry, seeing a few light showers down around San Diego. Off towards the north, seeing a little bit as well, but not as rainy as what it will be as we head into the next couple of days. We have a flood potential for today, but it's a level 1 risk out of a level 4. This extends all the way from the southern tip of Oregon down through northern California, including San Francisco, and again down towards central California and just to the west of Reno, Nevada. As we head into the day on Saturday, we continue with that flood potential, but the risk going up a little bit more for a few areas out towards north central California, a level 2 risk, and then even down around Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, under a level 2 risks for some flash flooding, and that level 1 risk expanding compared to what we were going to see today throughout the afternoon and into the evening. So still from southern Oregon extending all the way down to southern California. But there's also a chance tomorrow to see some severe weather. Now, it's not, uncommon to see severe weather in California, but it doesn't happen all the time. And we have another day of some severe weather as the system pushes on through from Redding all the way down to Fresno and just to the north of San Francisco, and even including parts of the coast of Oregon. But there's also another chance for a tornado potential. Just the other day, there was a confirmed tornado over in Southern California. So these systems are bringing a lot of spin with them. They're bringing some unsettled weather. They're bringing that wind shear, causing the chance to see that tornado potential. Now, it's not a big risk heading into tomorrow, but a risk nonetheless. Just a 2% risk from Redding down to Fresno, just to the north of San Francisco, but a good portion, a good population of the area under that tornado risk as we head into the day on Saturday. Now, here's a look at the European as we go throughout the rest of the day today, staying dry, but then by the evening, 7, 8 o'clock, that's when we start to see more rain starting to push into Northern California. That continues on heading into Saturday afternoon. And then as we head into Sunday afternoon, still some more rain. So the next couple of days, this continues on, bringing tons of snow in areas in eastern California. Still some rain down around Los Angeles, San Francisco, up through Portland, and even into Washington as well. This continues on into Monday, even a little bit into Tuesday. And then finally by Tuesday afternoon, seeing a little bit of a break here. A few scattered showers, but not as persistent as what it was. But then we see that more rain returning Wednesday, a little bit into Thursday, and then by Thursday afternoon, finally starting to see a break in that rainfall, which will certainly be needed. And then things still looking pretty good heading into Friday, but it's going to be day after day after day of persistent rain there in California. So, of course, that's why they have those flood risks over the next couple of days. And here's a look at what we could see in terms of rainfall over the next week. 1 to 2 inches in the lighter green area. So further inland, that's where you're seeing in the valleys. That's where you're kind of seeing the less rain, 1 to 2 inch range. But the further north you go in Northern California, of course, that's where you're getting the 4 to 6 range there in the yellows. And then even 7 to 10 inches of rain in a few areas. So that, of course, could lead to a lot of flooding. And even down around Los Angeles, they could pick up a couple inches of rain as we head into the next couple of weeks. Now, California doesn't need the rain. I mean, they are barely anywhere is in a drought, or nowhere is actually in a drought. Just in the northeast corner of the state, there's abnormally dry conditions, but there's really no drought in the entire state. But as we go out more towards Denver, El Paso, a good portion of the entire United States is under a drought. All of the East Coast, basically, Chicago down through St. Louis and Houston, Denver, El Paso, out towards Billings, Montana. Everyone needs the rain. California at this time certainly doesn't, even though it does help, of course, towards fire season. And of course, accumulating all that snow and rain is very helpful for that area. But you want it at, not day after day after day, hour after hour. That's what could cause some concern. As we take a look at the drought monitor here in Hampton Roads, it's not looking terrible. We are under abnormally dry conditions for a lot of the area, so we do need some rain, seeing some moderate drought just to the south of Hosky and Roanoke Rapids. But luckily, we're not in, severe, extreme, or exceptional drought. But of course, we still are seeing some of that abnormally dry condition. So the rain will certainly help, and we'll be seeing a little bit of that as we head into the upcoming weekend. But out in California, skiers are rejoicing after a storm brought snow to Boreal Mountain Ski Resort earlier this week. That's out by Lake Tahoe. Connor McGill has that story.
We had a Christmas miracle up here. That storm absolutely delivered.
After a slow start to the season, last week's storm dropped several feet of snow across the Sierra, transforming the once bare terrain into a winter wonderland.
I've never seen snow before.
Just weeks ago, resorts like Boreal were relying heavily on snowmaking. Well, talk about how one storm can change a lot for a ski resort like you guys.
That's right. I mean, last time you were up here, we only had one chairlift open. It was the Castle Peak chair right behind me here, and we had one run open as well. And now we are expanding terrain daily.
Visitors from the Bay Area say they were nervous about what things were going to look like.
We thought we were going to come up here and there's going to be no snow and we're just going to have to figure out something else to do. But we were so happy when we saw that there was a lot of rain coming down, which means a lot of snow.
And for others, the storm turned into an unexpected winter adventure.
It was definitely a nice surprise to get some snow right before we got up here because it let us go snowmobiling a couple of days ago, and then I've been out skiing 2 days in a row.
The timing is critical. While December storms have helped, state officials say California's snowpack still has ground to make up. Earlier this week, the Department of Water Resources conducted its first snow survey of the season. The snowpack sitting at 71% of average, well below last December's 115%. Still, Mother Nature seems to be helping.
At the end of this next storm that's coming through, we will be 100% open. That's every lift, every run.
And of course, snow this time of year is always fun, especially if you're a skier. And we're seeing some snow out towards the Great Lakes, some lake effect snow that is around Buffalo, Erie, Cleveland, over just to the west of Toronto. Watertown seeing a little bit down to your south as well. But they could be picking up a couple of inches as we head into the next couple of hours, maybe even over a foot or so in a few areas. But if you're curious how lake effect snow actually happens, it's caused because you have some relatively warm water and then you have cold land and cold air going over that warm water. And when that happens, you get lift. That warm air rises, condenses, and then you get clouds forming, you get precipitation. And of course, when it's cold, that precipitation drops as snow, and you could get a lot of that snow, a lot of lake effect snow, feet upon feet, when the conditions are right. And this is a good graphic for it because you could see, you know, where that sharp cutoff is with the lake effect snow. Your neighbor or you could get, you know, a foot of snow, and then just a half mile down the road, you picked up 2 inches of snow. So lake effect snow is just a crazy, crazy phenomenon there. And you could, of course, pick up a ton of it in just a short period of time. You can get some crazy snow bursts. But luckily, not expecting to see a ton as we head into the next couple of days. But around New York especially, that's where we could pick up a couple of inches of snow. But then we're going to see another system moving on through heading into Sunday, where we could pick up a little bit more in terms of some snowfall. That pushes out rather quickly. And then we could see another round of snow heading into Monday afternoon. But over the next couple of days, not expecting to see a whole lot around the area. But right around Syracuse, where you were getting that lake effect snow, that's where you're going to pick up the most, up to a foot possible, 6 to 12 in the dark blue, up to 6 or 12 to 18 inches in that lighter purple there. But around Buffalo could pick up a couple of inches. Same around Williamsport and Binghamton. Albany could pick up a few inches. Same around Connecticut, up through Massachusetts, Vermont, and New Hampshire. But as we take a look at the U.S. snow depth across the area, a lot of snow, of course, in the areas where you're getting that lake effect snow. That's where you're picking up the most, around 2 feet of snow in those areas. Around Connecticut, you know, a couple of inches to about a half a foot in a few areas, but New York right now has the most snow. Of course, down around Pennsylvania, up to 6 inches in the darker blues. Of course, in the mountains of New Hampshire, that's where you're getting over a foot of snow in that region. And then over by, you know, Michigan, picking up a couple of feet, especially in the upper peninsula of Michigan, getting up to 18 to 24, even close to 36 inches. But that sharp cutoff there, not a lot of snow. Areas down to the south, central Iowa, seeing some snow off towards the north of the state, and then to the south, not a whole lot. Even in South Dakota, you'll notice not a lot of snow in that area. Rarely or barely any snow in Nebraska. No snow in Kansas, even though they've been seeing some extreme temperatures up and down, 80s and then around 10 degrees the next day. But of course, in the mountains out towards the west, seeing a lot of snow there. But as we take, of course, a look at the U.S. snow depth, a lot of the snow, of course, off towards the north, then that sharp cutoff. And then as we go towards out towards the west, the mountains seeing the most of that snow. And it is cold as well. I mean, look at these temperatures out into the north and the Midwest. International Falls feeling like negative 26, negative 20 in Ironwood, negative 2 in Caribou. Gore Bay Airport sitting at 0 degrees or feeling like 0 degrees. Bangor feels like negative 8. New York City about 15. Double digits, we'll take that. Feels like 9 in Cleveland, 8 in Bedford, Massachusetts, 1 at Kingston Airport. Feeling like 6 degrees in central Michigan this morning. And New Year's Day, polar plunge in the Pacific Northwest could be one for the record books. Thousands of people stripped down to their bathing suits and jumped into the ice-cold water in Birch Bay, Washington. They were hoping to break the Guinness World Record for the largest polar plunge ever recorded. Norway currently holds the record with just over 3,000 participants. They're still waiting for official word from Guinness on if they broke the record. Well, good luck to them. Hopefully they do. And if you're about to take a polar plunge, it certainly would be feeling like it across a lot of the area because it is just frigid, especially off towards the north. But we are going to be feeling a bit of a change heading into the middle and end of next week. You'll notice the jet stream will kind of shift more off towards the north heading into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And when that happens, we're going to be seeing some above normal temperatures to the south of the jet stream. And even over towards Minneapolis, they could be seeing some above normal temperatures. And that sticks around for a couple of days. So as we take a look at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, a lot of the United States, a lot of the eastern United States will be seeing above average temperatures. So this is between January 10th to January 16th. And looking like us here in Hampton Roads, we have a great shot at being in the upper 50s to low 60s for a couple of days. So if you like the warmer weather, of course, that is something to look forward to. But back closer to home, a winter storm brought 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts to western New York this week. The gusts were so strong, they literally lifted one Buffalo area woman off her feet. Taylor Epps has the story.
Never in a million years would I think I would go flying into the air like a kite.
Swept off of the ground in an instant.
It happened so quickly. I just couldn't even believe that it was happening.
71-year-old Diane Miller ventured out Monday through the wind and snow to run some errands and thought she'd stop by her daughter's house in Lackawanna.
I was opening up her front door and the wind caught me and I went flying.
Right into a bush. Her daughter's doorbell camera caught the whole thing.
I was holding on to the screen door trying so it wouldn't blow open. And the wind gust must have caught the screen door. And then I went into the bushes and onto the ground. And then I got up. Are you okay? Don't know how I even got up like that, but I did.
And you're okay, right?
I am okay. Thank God took care of me because at my age, my bones break very easily and I have no broken bones and actually I'm not in pain. I'm wondering how I'll be tomorrow with achy bones, but right now I'm really good.
Her daughter is a nurse and checked her out. She tells me she was just in shock at how strong the gust was.
I never experienced a storm with this much wind. That's why I didn't anticipate getting thrown in the air. But yes, I went flying.
All right, we're going to be taking a short break. When we come back, search efforts underway after an avalanche in Spain. Plus, we're headed to space to talk about a cool event happening this weekend. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Staying with extreme weather, search efforts are underway after an avalanche hit the Spanish Pyrenees earlier this week. 3 people died in that avalanche. A group of 6 mountaineers were ski trekking on the north face of the Pico Tablato mountain in northern Spain. A rescue team, including sniffer dogs, were deployed to the area to help search for the people missing. This weekend, Earth will reach its closest point to the sun. It's called perihelion, and it happens once a year. Meteorologist Evan Stewart explains.
You might be surprised to learn that the Earth's orbit around the sun isn't really a perfect circle. In fact, it's actually slightly oval-shaped. And on Saturday, the Earth reaches what we call perihelion. That's the point in our orbit where we're closest to the sun. Now, we're still 91 million miles away, so don't expect any extra warmth. Here's the key takeaway. Just because you're closer to the sun doesn't actually mean it's warmer. You see, our seasons aren't controlled by how close to or far away from the sun we are. They're actually driven by the tilt of the Earth's axis. And right now, the northern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun, and that means sunlight hits us at a lower angle, spreads out more, and we have shorter days, all adding up to colder temperatures. Meanwhile, the southern hemisphere, they're tilted towards the sun and enjoying summer, even though they're still in the same orbital position as we are. In summer, the Earth reaches the farthest point from the sun, and that's more than 3 million miles farther away than we are now. Yet that's when we experience our hottest weather. So the distance barely changes our temperatures at all. It's the tilt, not the trip around the sun, that gives us our seasons.
Well, also happening this weekend, the Wolf Moon will grace the sky. The Wolf Moon is 2026's first supermoon, which generally indicates a full moon that's closer than normal to Earth and seems larger and brighter in the sky. The full moon's light will make it harder to see the second event, the quadrantid meteor shower. The meteor shower will reach peak activity Saturday evening. Astronomers say the shower will be active through January 16th. And let's take a look at our Thompson Creek Window Company sky view out there right now. It is a beautiful start to our morning. It's a chilly start, but beautiful nonetheless. It's going to be a typical January day today with highs in the lower 50s. Our average high for this time of year right around 52 degrees. And as we take a look at our temperatures at Norfolk International, not a whole lot popping up right now. I think they've been having a few issues with their sensor over the last couple of days because none of this has been populating. So we're going to have to check that out. But temperatures across the region, it's 34 in Chesapeake, 35 degrees in Gloucester, 36 in Newport News, 39 this morning in Ahoskie. It's 34 in Melfa, 45 in Manio, 37 degrees in Virginia Beach, 38 in Hampton, 41 in Elizabeth City, and 44 over in Edenton. Compared to this time yesterday, we're feeling a bit cooler, especially around Chesapeake and Newport News. Suffolk, about 9 degrees cooler this morning, 6 degrees cooler in Virginia Beach, 30 degrees cooler in Ahoskie, and 10 degrees cooler over in Richmond compared to about 24 hours ago. But here's a look at our average temperatures for the month of January. So we're January 2nd. Our average high is right around 52 degrees. We bottom out at about 50 degrees by the middle of the month, but that's the coldest air of the season, or our coldest average highs for the year. And then we finally start to see those going in the other direction as we get towards the end of the month. So the coldest month of the season finally starting to approach, but also our sunsets getting later and later as well. Of course, today is the first day where our sun sets at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow, 5:01, then 5:02. By the end of the month, we'll be around 5:30. And then by the end of February, close to 6 o'clock. So something to look forward to. But for today, of course, typical January day. 50 in Norfolk this afternoon, 52 in Virginia Beach, 56 in Suffolk, and 55 in Chesapeake. Cooler along the eastern shore in the lower 40s, 49 in Gloucester, 50 in Hampton today. It'll be 59 in Edenton, 58 in Ahoskie, 54 in Kill Devil Hills, and 56 in Manio. But a nice warming trend on the way by the middle and end of next week. Temperatures in the upper 50s to even low 60s. That is going to be feeling fantastic, especially after a stretch of some cool days that are on the way. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, going to be feeling really nice. And even the warmer temperatures sticking around heading into next weekend as well. But our rain chances do go up a bit heading into tomorrow. Some isolated to scattered showers. Not going to be a washout, but you may have to dodge a few as we head into tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be chilly as well, only in the low 40s. It's going to be a good day to kind of just hang out inside, watch a good movie, get some good food. Mostly cloudy to start off, and then we see those showers developing heading into the late morning and afternoon. But the sunshine does return on Sunday, mostly sunny skies, but still below average, getting into the mid 40s. And if you're doing a weekend getaway anywhere, cloudy on Saturday across D.C., Richmond, and Charlottesville, upper 30s to low 40s, 47 in the Outer Banks, but then sunshine everywhere as we head into Sunday with highs in the mid to low 40s. But satellite and radar out there right now looking pretty good. Overnight tonight, it'll be warmer than what we were experiencing last night in the mid 30s. 35 in Norfolk, 31 in Cape Charles tonight, 32 in Gloucester, 35 in Gatesville, and 38 over in Elizabeth City. Tomorrow, look at that, much cooler, right around 40 degrees. It is not going to be feeling great. 39 in Gloucester, 39 in Cape Charles. It'll be 44 in Hertford and 46 over in Kill-Devil Hills. We're going to see this system pushing our direction as we head into the overnight hours. That'll increase our cloud cover. So waking up Saturday morning, it'll be dry. 8, 9 o'clock, you're heading out the door. We're looking pretty good. We're in the mid to low 30s. And then by the late morning, heading into the early afternoon, that's when we'll see some scattered showers rolling on through. Could even see a few snowflakes flying around as well, especially in our northern areas, but not going to be a complete washout. I think areas far off towards the north, Tappahannock, Accomack, Richmond, may not even see a whole lot in the way of rain showers, maybe one, but that might be pushing it. The bulk of the rain going to be staying around the south side, the peninsulas down into eastern North Carolina. And then by 9, 10 o'clock, we start to dry out and things are looking much better. Heading into Sunday morning, it's a chilly start, but dry start to the day. We stay dry through the afternoon. Highs only in the low 40s. And then as we get into our Sunday night, we'll be dropping down to around 33 degrees. Here's a look at our 5-day forecast. Of course, 51 degrees for the day today, mid to low 40s for the weekend, 50% chances of those showers heading into Saturday afternoon. Not going to be a complete washout, but some light, annoying, cold showers for Saturday. 45 degrees on Monday, and then we do see a nice warm up heading into the middle and end of next week. Highs in the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees. That's something I'm looking forward to. And remember, you can get the latest on the forecast, plus breaking news and traffic updates sent right to your phone with the 13 News Now mobile app. Scan the QR code on your screen to download it for free. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.